Trump's wall. First reported by TYT, by Jank and Anna, and they covered a lot. And I wanted to talk about it back then, and things got in the way, and I just pushed it aside. Now, I listened to something, 3 days ago, Kyle Kalinske, he talks about it. Jank and Anna had more of a conversation that I wanted for it, and this is pretty much might be just like that, more of the same thing, but the way this is going is Trump's wall that he wants to build to block Mexico, or Mexico, whichever you want to say, is going to go through a lot of Texans' homes, or should I call it Tejas. It's going to go through those homes, and those people are going to be, I suppose, displaced or just cut off from the U.S. side of things. And these people are all Trump supporters. They voted for Trump. And Jank spoke about how he just doesn't have any remorse or sympathy for them. I'm on that side. And then, not wanting to talk about it, I listened to Kyle, and on Secular Talk, he brings up that this stuff has been going on for 10 years. Trump just got into office 11 weeks ago. This has been going on before Obama. This was going on during George Bush's reign. These people have been fighting this battle. So, just hear this out. These people have been fighting this battle for 10 years, so this wall does not split their property or their businesses on two sides of this fence. They've been doing this for a decade. 10 years. And these people still voted for Trump despite him saying he's going to put up a wall. He's going to keep out the Mexicans. He's going to keep out all the baddies, the brown people. He's going to stop the illegal immigrants. They voted for this wall. Trump made no kind of nuance about maybe, maybe not. No, there will be a wall. We're going to keep them out. And these people, these Texans, voted for this wall. They voted for the hatred. They voted for the racism. They voted for the segregation of land. They voted for this. And now they get hit with it. And how I feel, as I already said, yes, I agree. They get nothing. I hope their property is jacked up. I hope they get displaced. I hope all kinds of hell drop down on them. The karmic universe has been fucking me up for a few years, so I don't give a shit for a little bit more. These people begged for this. They got on their hands and knees and pleaded for Trump to win. They took their time and drove to these voters' the ballots and voted for Trump. They voted for this. This is what they call their comeuppance. This is their championship. They fought long and hard to get half in and out of the United States. They all voted to be half Mexican.
The problem is that it goes back to a deeper problem. And that problem is they have no empathy. They want to save their money, save their country, save their xenophobia, and have no feeling for anyone that is different for them. They don't care. So when Trump comes along and he's, towing the line of, let's get rid of all the difference, and then we'll all be here in the Making America Great Again, they're all for it. But when it comes down to it's in their backyard, and they're going to be outside of the U.S. looking in because of this wall that they voted for. Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't take my land. It's me. Well, of course it's you. You're not anything to Donald Trump. Just like everyone else is nobody to you. So now you know how everyone else feels. There is a lack of empathy. A lot of these people, these conservatives with all this money, are also Bible-carrying Christians. And Jesus, he He wasn't for all the xenophobia. He wasn't for all the not in my backyard. He wasn't for all the, I don't care about anything but me. He cared for his fellow man, sick, well, brown, white, blind, unblind. That was how Jesus was. And I'll wave that shit in your face when you want to get an abortion, when it's time to care about somebody that's not them, doesn't look like them, or is not in their tax bracket. Jesus who? What? No. I need to keep my money. And so they're getting what they get. I, myself, don't know anyone who is serviced by Meals on Wheels. And I am fortunate that no one in my family has to be serviced by Meals on Wheels because they're ill and live alone. That doesn't mean that I wanted the program destroyed. No, people need it. There are people who were sick, people who were shut in, who wouldn't be able to eat. A basic need in life, eat on a day-to-day basis, if not for this program. I don't use it, but that doesn't mean I want it to go away. But these other people, they don't care. They have no empathy. I don't need Wheels on Wheels. I can just go into the country club and have my meals. They don't care. So it's finally coming to them. The karma train is coming right back around to them, and they're going to have to deal with it.
Basically, fuck them. Because they don't give a shit. I love this. I want that Trump wall built. It's going to cost somewhere around $12 billion. In the grand scope of government finances, that is about $200 to us. All right? They deal in billions and trillions. And to sell you out, they will do it for $5,400, $1,800 just to sell you out. Because fuck you, the listener, the viewer, the wanderer. You come to this channel, you listen to me, you wonder where you are on this grand spectrum. Are you a Republican? Fuck you. Are you a Democrat? Fuck you. Are you a progressive? Fuck you. Because none of that matters. What matters is if you have the money. Money holds no allegiance to any party. All money does is say, yes, sir, no, sir, and when do we do it, sir? That's why we don't have weak Democrats. We have paid Democrats. They call them weak, but they're not. This lack of empathy that Sidra's going on, oh yes, it's awesome. It's been done in the Dakotas. That Dakota Access Pipeline, the white people said, don't build that shit here. It will ruin our water. They said, damn, how about we take it through the indigenous people's land? They said, all right. They said, good. Hey, there's a treaty. We can't do that. We shouldn't do that. We're going to do it anyway. Because why? Fuck them. Mount Rushmore was built on sacred land. Sacred burial land and all other sorts of land to indigenous people. And they built Rushmore on it. No problems. It's one of those things that's spitting in the face of the indigenous people of this country every day. So this isn't new. It's not new at all. It's the same thing with these people who are out of touch that want, they say, look, if black people weren't so criminals, then they wouldn't be going to prison all the time. But they're all criminals. They have tattoos on their forehead. Yeah, they listen to Bill O'Reilly all the time because it's what fits their narrative. That's the problem. You have to grow up in a racist home or around racist people, and then you can't help but to find some kind of news program that fits your narrative. And you have no empathy because you don't go through this stuff. None of you go through it. Now, for the listeners that have gone through terrible times, hard times, and you think, damn, man, there's nobody else out there going through it. That's because people don't have empathy. And when they don't have empathy, they don't go on TV and talk about that. They just go and talk about what's awesome about them. And so you think that nobody has any strife. And then you go through some bad stuff and you're like, no one can relate. Lots of people, millions of people in this country can relate to you, but they won't because the narrative does not suit that. Shut up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Don't have emotions, none of that stuff. And you don't care about the sick, you don't care about the poor, you don't care about the black, you don't care about the Mexican, you don't care about the Asian. That's what's taught. If it ain't white, then it ain't right. It's a jacked up saying, but I've heard that growing up enough. And it's still prevailing today in our societies.
Flint, Michigan. The water was fine. And someone decided, if we change where the water comes from, we'll save a whole lot of money. Now, they didn't think about the health benefits, or maybe they did. And they just said, fuck it. They're not our children. They're not our homes. They're not our families. I'm sure the governor and the mayor is drinking and bathing in nice, clean, fresh water. But these children and these people have been poisoned by lead. You can't just go down to the hospital and get a shot for that. That's it. It's done. They are permanently damaged because people are greedy. They have no empathy and they don't care.
They deregulate the water. We probably got the safest drinking water all around North Carolina. We probably do when it comes through the tap and it's not filtered through some device we had to pay $200 for. But our water still has this clearish slime that comes through. And if it sits, you see this orange stuff that just build up and build up. I got to use our steamer just to get that stuff off of our kitchen nozzle. I got to use the steamer to get it off the shower heads. That stuff builds up. And I know that stuff is in the steamer. So I don't know how to get it out the steamer, I guess. Apple cider vinegar. But deregulation is the one thing that leads to us being poisoned. It leads to them getting more money. And you got to ask, what else do you need? I know the thing about I know what's driving with the money, but I'm not going to cover that now. I'm not going to do that. All right. I know why things are the way they are financially. I know the psychology behind it. All right. I'm going to do that probably in a post coming up soon, but this is about empathy. This is about, if you have empathy, you fight the right fight. That's the whole kit and caboodle. If you got empathy, you fight the right fight. Paul Ryan, in his dumbass healthcare plan, it's like they know, hey, you are going to kill. You are literally going to kill maybe 25 million Americans in the coming years after that. You're going to kill them. And it is going to be a horrible thing that you're not going to care about. And he said, hey, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. And he couldn't give a reason why he's not worried about it. He couldn't say it up there on TV. He already messed up by saying that he's not worried. So the truth is, he's got money. He's Speaker of the House. He is getting paid by big donors to just tell people what they need to hear enough. You're going to keep your doctor. Everybody's going to keep their insurance. And no one listens to what's going on behind the scenes. And you got people like the Young Turks. You've got Secular Talk. You've got Tom Hartman. You got Ring of Fire. You got Mike Papatino. Okay, these people, they let you know what's going to happen. And they're not being heard enough. They're not. No one tells you if you don't have health insurance, that if you go 3 months without it, and then when you get on it, you're going to be fined for those 3 months. And it's going to be a heavy financial fine. And it's going to stay that way. So they don't tell you that stuff. They don't tell you that, hey, if you go in and you're trying to get a flu shot and it needs to be covered by your insurance company, but you also have diabetes, you can't get the flu shot. It can't be covered anyway because you have a pre-existing condition. That diabetes is a pre-existing condition before you need the flu shot. If that's what a pre-existing condition is. Having no empathy allows these people to be like drone robots and do what they need to do to make more money off of the deaths of everyone else. How in the hell is our government or anything going to survive if literally the 99% of people in this nation are dead? If everyone is dead but the 99%, well, I mean the top 1%, then they're going to have to cannibalize each other. They can't just pay each other off and it trickles down to the point where we're their political cattle. The cattle is gone. At that point, the hunter becomes the prey. That's what's going to happen. It's just be a wasteland, and all they have left is each other.
The CNN and these various news outlets are doing these stories about people's husbands not being able to get back into the country because of Trump, losing their Meals on Wheels because they're shut in and they can't fend for themselves because of Trump, having a wall built in their backyard. They voted for Trump and they're going to have their land and businesses segmented because of Trump. These are all decisions they made when they cast a vote for Trump. And he was upfront about all of his bullshit, about all of his racist, xenophobic, sexist behavior. He was upfront about what he was going to do. So them being surprised, one, is stupid, and two, it garners no sympathy. These news stations, they try to make you feel bad, but how can you? How can you? If someone walks into your porch and says, I'm going to come and shoot you at midnight while you sleep, and you leave your front door open, and they come and shoot you at midnight while you sleep, then what the fuck, man? You had forewarning. You knew what was coming. You took no safeguards against it. Obviously, you either wanted to get shot or you deeply deserve it.
If those people were complaining and they didn't vote for Trump, I'd be on their side.
So would I.
I mean, they heard the wall. They've been fighting this wall for 10 years, and they say we're not voting for Trump because we don't want the wall. But you know what? It came down to this. Their racism was stronger than their survival instinct. They hated all of their xenophobia was stronger than self-preservation. That's really messed up.
Or deeper than that, their lack of care was stronger than their self-preservation.
Keep the Mexicans out. I don't want no Mexicans over here. Keep them out of Texas. Keep them out of California. They don't need to be over here. Build that wall, Trump. Build it. And then Trump builds, it's like, we're going to go forward with building this wall. It should be built real fast. It's going to go right through here, up through San Diego. It's like, wait a minute. That's a property. I got a golf course. I got 18 holes. You're cutting out 15 of them. You need to work on 3. Hey, mini golf course. Putt still open. Work at it. 3 holes. You can divide that up into 30, just little bitty steps. Get your stuff done.
Pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. You know what? That could be one of the holes, the bootstrap hole. If you roll over the bootstrap, you can pick it up and take it home. You earn something. That's how I see that. I don't have any much more to say about this. You got anything else to say?
No, that's it. They're laying in the bed they made.
All right, cool. Thank y'all for listening. This is Sedrik Cannady and Sidra Owens for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.